Right guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to estimate the cost of your Big Lap using our free Big Lap Budget Spreadsheet, which you can download from our website. And I'll leave a link below this video and one up here as well. Once you get to the download page, you'll see that there's an Excel version and then there's a Google Sheets version. If you click on the button that says Excel version, that's going to basically just download the Excel file to your computer and open it up in Excel or pretty much any other spreadsheet program, and away you go. If you click on the Google Sheets version, it's going to take you to Google Sheets in your browser, probably Chrome if that's your default browser, and you'll need to be logged into your Google account to be able to actually save a copy of this file and give it a new name and save it in your Google Drive. So if you don't have a Google account, you don't use Google Drive or anything like that, then you're probably better to just do the Excel version. But if you do have a Google account and you're familiar with all that that goes with it, then by all means do it that way. It's the same spreadsheet both ways, won't make any difference. If you don't have Excel and you don't have Google Drive, I'd suggest that you create a free Google account, because you can use Google Sheets for free. So that you can basically, that's a pathway to be able to use it without needing to use Excel. Right guys, so once you get the spreadsheet open, it looks like this. It's all in one page, so there's no multiple layers or anything like that you need to worry about. It's divided up into 9 different sections, and the idea is that you work progressively through each section and you put the information into the yellow squares, into the yellow cells. Now you can see that I've already put a bunch of info in there already. That's just sort of rough information to start with, to give you an idea what the sort of number you're expecting to have in there. But this is up to you to pretty much determine what's going to be relevant to you. So for example, I've said, let's make it 12 months, but let's say you're going for 2 years, well then you just put in 24 months. Then in accommodation, you can see I've divided it up into national parks, caravan parks, hotels, motels or cabins, and sort of bush or free camping. And this is where you need to estimate what you think it's going to cost you on average per night for those different types of things. Because, if you're a family of 4 and you like to stay in powered sites and caravan parks, well then your price will be at one end of the scale. If you're a couple that likes to stay in unpowered sites, camping sites and caravan parks, well, your price will be a lot lower. So what I'd suggest you do is go and pick a selection of different caravan parks that you think you might be going to stay at, and get a rough idea of the nightly rate that you're going to be paying when you get there, and use that as your starting point. National parks, I've put in $20 a night as an average. They vary a lot. Sometimes they're practically free, and sometimes the premium parks are a lot more. So $20 is probably a reasonable ballpark, but feel free to overestimate if you feel like I've underestimated there. You're probably not planning to stay in hotels and motels and things like that, but some people do. Some people literally drive around the country just staying in sort of motor inns and cabins and that all the way. So the option's there to use it if you need it. And obviously what we're trying to do is make sure that the free camping section has the most nights in it, because that's going to be the secret to doing your Big Lap on a budget. It's going to be to take advantage of all those free and low-cost camps that you possibly can. So anyway, make sure that, so you can edit these numbers, and you can also edit the number of nights per month. You just want to make sure that the total adds up to 30, which is the approximate number of nights per month. If it doesn't, it'll turn red and let you know that you need to make it equal to 30. So we'll just fix that. All right, and you can see if you hold the mouse over any of these fields that have got a little triangle on the corner, it'll give you some notes about what you need to do there. All right, so the fuel cost calculator, this is going to basically estimate your fuel usage for the trip. Obviously, accommodation, fuel, and food are the biggest 3 expenses for most people's trips, so that's why they're sort of number 2, 3, and 4 here. So what you have to do is start with, what sort of mileage does your vehicle get? Now my Land Cruiser, an old 80 series Land Cruiser with a 6-cylinder turbo diesel, it gets roughly about 15 to 17 litres per 100 kilometres. Around the city, if it's not loaded and I don't have the roof rack on, I might get down to about 14. But when it's fully loaded, camper trailer on the back, and we're sort of 17, 18, maybe 19 at the worst case scenario. So I would put in an estimate of about 18 just to be on the safe side. What's the current city price of fuel? Obviously, that's a variable. When we did our trip 20 years ago, that average was about $1.30. Now it's more like $1.80 to $2. It does vary a bit. So what is it today, or what do you think it's going to be when you do your trip? If you're not planning to leave for 3 years, well then probably put something in higher than what's in there now. And we've got this remote area fuel loading. That's because obviously fuel is more expensive in remote areas, and so we need to put some sort of loading in for that. So I put it at 25%. In other words, I'm saying that 25% of the fuel that you buy is going to be in remote areas at a higher price. So we've added 25% to the fuel price, giving an average cost per litre for the whole trip of $2.25. Now you put in the estimated total number of kilometres for the trip. I've started at 35,000. If you drove just around Highway 1 around the whole country, you do about 15,000. So it's actually a lot less than what I've got here. But nobody does that. Everybody zigzags and diverts and detours and all that sort of thing. So, I mean, we did 46,500 on our trip. Most people do at least 30 to 40,000. So just put an estimate what you think you're going to do. You must have a rough idea of where you're going to planning to go. But I wouldn't put anything less than 30,000 unless you're really specifically planning to stick mostly to that main Highway 1. Then that's going to work out what your approximate monthly fuel cost is going to be. Bear in mind, this is an average. It's not going to be that every month, but we're just trying to average over the whole extent of your trip. Now, with the food cost calculator, this works on a weekly amount, not a monthly amount, because most people think about how much they spend on food based on a weekly amount. So I put in $200 a week as a starting point. It's probably going to be a lot higher than that for most people. And how much you expect to spend on eating out per week. And this would include roadhouse snacks and things like that, trips to the pub, counter meals, beers and things like that. So what do you expect to spend in a week in total, one way or another, on food and food-related things, booze, stuff like that? And then it adds up to a total amount of $12.90 per month. Now, in other expenses, this is where you're basically going to cover off everything else, expenses-wise. If you've got a house at home and you're paying a mortgage, well, then what's your monthly mortgage amount there? If you're renting out your house, what are the agent fees and maintenance and things like that? What's your home content insurance, storage costs, because you might have packed up all your house into a storage shed or something like that, and you're paying for storage there. If you've got an investment property, what's the mortgage on that? And obviously, if you've got 10 investment properties, you're probably not even looking at this spreadsheet, but then you would just put in the total there for the whole lot. Investment property expenses, any credit card repayments, any monthly credit card minimums that you need to pay, vehicle finance, registration, insurance. You get the idea. So, I mean, I've put in a bunch of things there that I think should cover most people's situations. Feel free to change. You can go and change these if you like. And I've got an other expenses here to sort of soak up anything else that I've missed there. So if you've got other things that aren't included here, you can always just put them in other expenses. Spending money, this is tourist attractions, alcohol, clothes, fishing gear, etc. And then a contingency, I've just put in a 10% contingency on top of all that. Gives us $5,346 a month. All right, now we've got one-off expenses, and this is just any significant big expenses you expect to happen once off during the trip. A good example would be like if you're going to go to Tasmania, the Spirit of Tasmania is going to cost you probably anything from $1,000 to $2,000 for the ferry, and that's a one-off thing. So any of those, add those up what you think they might be, and put them into that column there. Now we get to the income section. Income from renting your house out. I'll get this out of the way. So let's say you're renting your house. What income are you getting from that? Any other investment income, and income from work while you're traveling. If you're planning to work along the way, what do you think you're roughly going to earn per month on average? I know it's a ballpark figure, but you've got to start somewhere. And any other income per month that you can think of, could be like government payments if you've got kids, online business, anything like that. So I've just given you enough sort of fields there to pretty much cover most contingencies. And this is where we talk about pretty much this is how much you're going to want to have at the start to get started. So starting cash balance, I've put in $50,000 to start with. So any other one-off cash income that you're expecting during the year, you put that in there. That could be like an inheritance, or somebody owes you money they're going to pay back, or you're planning to sell something or whatever. So that essentially says, well, we've got $53,000 coming in from cash we've already got and cash we're expecting to get. We're expecting to earn $4,000 a month along the way from renting our house and investments and working along the way. All right, now that brings us to our equation down the bottom here, and we can see we're in the red, which means we don't have enough money. We want that to be green. That's what we're striving for. Now, it was green when we started, but I changed the length of the trip from 12 to 24. So let's change it back to 12, and you can see now it's green. So it's showing us that our surplus per month is around $13 or $153 for the entire trip. So you can see that based on this equation, this sort of formula, we're fundamentally in the right ballpark. Now, obviously, this is very rough. It's just an absolute ballpark, but you've got to start somewhere. If you do all this for yours and it's in the red, well, then you know that you're going to have to fine-tune these numbers. You're going to have to save more money or plan to work more along the way or reduce your expenses somewhere along the way. Or maybe you're going to need to spend more time free camping in national parks and less time in caravan parks. So the idea is that it basically just gives you a good starting point. Once you actually know what you have to save, whether you're going to need to work along the way, what you can afford to spend on a vehicle and all these sort of things, everything starts to fall into place. I think this is the first hurdle, but I also think it's the biggest one. You get this one out the way, well then, the rest is just sort of, we need to do this, we need to do this, and away you go. Now, if you need some help planning, I've got the Big Lap on a Budget book, which I've recently released. 400 odd pages, packed full of money-saving tips and strategies to help you plan your big lap. It's pretty much a step-by-step blueprint, and you can download it from our website. I'll leave a link for that down the bottom of this video as well. Thanks, guys. Hopefully this has helped you, and I'll see you in the next video.